fucking great atmosphere, isn't it?
I was just going to come on to that. UMAR, AHMED, IFL TV, MTK Global. Why has no one ever boxed Demetrius here?
Oh, no, but we're just starting to get to grips with things. That's what we try and do. That atmosphere was fucking unreal. Unreal. I mean, that was up there. UK. One of the guys said, that was like the UK. I was like, exactly, that's what we're trying to do. But again, like, how can you... He's won 3 world titles, 3-time world champion, 2-weight world champion. He's never boxed in Providence. I mean, it's unbelievable. But thank you to people of Providence. Amazing crowd, great atmosphere. And yeah, fantastic night.
Say you did like bring him back in the future, that surely sell out.
Yeah, I mean, we did 7,000 and a bit tonight. We still had, I think it holds 9,500, so still bits of the arena still to open. But what a great first attempt. But it's not just the numbers, it's the energy, you know? That's what sometimes we're lacking at American shows. And I think if people tune in and watch that, it encourages other crowds to get involved and be as raucous, because that was like, there were people around ringside, like the Rhode Island Commission guy just came up to me and went, please come back, we've never seen anything like that. I mean, they talk about days when Pazienza boxed here 26 years ago. It's the last time they saw atmosphere like that. So really good night, good night.
It was like being in Manchester.
It was, no, it was though, wasn't it? I mean,
yeah, I know.
You know, we've done so many shows in the US where you sort of struggle to get that atmosphere sometimes, and that's why I think it's so important to bring fighters home to their hometown, because people actually are passionate about it. You know, if you're from Providence, you're going to back Demetrius, aren't you? You're going to get on your chair, you're going to scream and shout. And it was, as the kids say, lit. You say that, didn't you?
No?
No? Okay.
Maybe a year ago. Electric start, I put him down in the first round.
Yeah. I just think that sometimes, I mean, he's got his dad in his ear a lot, you know, who is like, sweet science, boxing, hit, don't get hit. And I think he gave him a bit of a rucking because he came out. Me, probably would have liked to see him just jump on him early doors. It was a masterclass. The problem we're going to have is he's too good. So I'm talking about people wanting to fight him. Who's going to want to fight Demetrius Andrade?
Well, if Canelo was in that ring tonight, how does it go?
Look, I don't want to start, like, Canelo's a legend, you know, he's pound for pound great fighter, but I just can't see him beating Demetrius Andrade. Like, everyone, you know, people who know boxing, talking to the commentators, they're like, no one's going to want to fight him. You know, I mean, Canelo, Triple G, but these are the fights we've got to make. You know, DAZN's the home of the middleweight division, and I guess we've got to put pressure on the powers that be to say, you've got to deliver him a fight. You know, he's a world champion. It's not like he don't have anything. You know, you saw the crowd, you saw the belt, so fight Demetrius Andrade, but you ain't going to want to fight him.
Well, the strange thing is that WBO middleweight belt seems to be cursed, because when Billy Joe had it, he couldn't land a big fight.
But Billy Joe also has the style of very tough to beat. Billy Joe's a really
He's like
skillful
Andrade,
fighter.
really, in that category.
I mean, it might not have actually been a great fight because they're so skillful, but Billy Joe is also a very, very good fighter. Very tricky, very tough to beat. So again, probably people don't queue up to fight Billy Joe.
High risk, low reward. Yeah.
Well, you said that, not me. But with Demetrius, you know, my worry is that he could be one of those guys who is the avoided guy of the division, because he is that good. He is that good. I mean, I don't know who can beat him. I don't think anyone can.
Golovkin?
I mean, it's a great fight. Like, I rate Golovkin. He's an amazing fighter. I don't know, it's just Golovkin's got the power to end anyone. Well, not Canelo in that fight, but Demetrius is so skillful. He hardly got hit tonight. You know, by Selecki, he was a world-class fighter. He's number 1 in the WBO. You know, he gave Jacobs a good fight. Rosado had a war with to come through. So he's a quality fighter. And he just didn't lose a round. Didn't lose a second. I mean, you know.
Thoughts on the stoppage for Joseph Parker against Alex Leopold?
I think you have to look at it and say, you've got 2 rounds left. You're taking a lot of punishment. By that stage, I didn't feel like Leopold could win. Early on, when they were exchanging, I was thinking, fuck me. I mean, that's why heavyweight boxing's so exciting. When they trade up left hooks, I'm just like, oh my God. Like, there was a couple of times Parker got chinned. So I think by that stage, save Leopold from further punishment. I think that's a wise thing. I thought Leopold was really good. I thought Joe was really good, sharp. I think after sort of 2 or 3 rounds, thought to himself, fuck me, I better slow down here, because...
Yeah.
And that's what he did. He slowed down, he took his time. And, you know, it was a good case. He's been out of the ring for 6 months. So I think with Joseph, he sort of thrust into the limelight of the Joshua fight. Then he takes the Dillian White fight, loses back to back, and it's like, goes and has another fight, 6 months out. Now we've got a bit of momentum. He's done the rounds, and we can go and push on from there. You know, get a fight. I'd like, hopefully, Chisora can beat Spilka, and I think the Parker Chisora fight is the fight to make, probably on the AJ card.
If that doesn't happen, what else is there for Joseph?
Loads of fights. Look at our heavyweights.
Hunter?
Povetkin, Hunter, Hrgovic, Usyk. Parker is a really good fight as well.
Gassiev, Joe DeWeco winner?
Yeah, Gassiev's a really good fight for him. I mean,
is that fight happening, right? That's confirmed.
Gassiev, Joe DeWeco, July 27 on the Hooker Ramirez card. Yeah. So loads of fights for him. It's just, I like the Chisora fight. I think Chisora Parker's a really good fight, but Chisora's got to beat Spilka, and that's not going to be easy. July 20.
Cal Yafai, and still a bit of a dirty fight.
Yeah, I mean, he busted his hand. I think he's broken his left hand. He's perforated 2 eardrums. So I thought he started really well. Battered him for 5 or 6 rounds. I thought scoring was a bit harsh. I did actually give the kid 3 rounds. What did
they give it?
I think
every round to Yafai.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, there was a point deducted, wasn't there? And I also thought Cal should have had a point deducted. He hit him in the nuts 3 times.
Was it 3? I thought it was 2.
No, 3 times. 3 times. So I thought he was lucky not to get a point deducted. But a dominant performance. And you know, I didn't. No disrespect to Nilberto Jimenez. I didn't want that fight tonight because we've been waiting for a monster fight for Cal, and people don't know that we had Nieves, the WBO champion, and Cal busted his hand in training. He was supposed to box in April, so we couldn't take that fight. He then had to take a mandatory, and the belt went vacant, and then Cal had to take the mandatory because we were out of time. So now is the time to gamble for Cal Yafai. Total time to gamble. We've just signed Juan Estrada, pound for pound, top 10.
10 definitely,
WBC champ, Ring Magazine champ. Time to unify. Roll the dice. You got to go for it. You know, I'm very proud of Cal because one, he's a super flyweight, and I always worried with him coming through that he's never going to get a chance to earn the money, you know, at that weight. Luckily for him, super flyweight become an attractive weight class.
You still working with Ruiz-Aj?
Yeah.
So that's another. If the Estrada fight doesn't happen,
there's 3 fights. Well, there's 4. I mean, you've got Karjas, you've got Aoka, the WBO champion. You've got, but the 3 that I think are more likely are Ruiz-Aj, Estrada, and Chocolatito when he's coming back. So, you know, and I would actually like to do Yafai against Chocolatito in Birmingham. Now, this is part of the conversation we had the other night.
Chocolatito come to Birmingham?
Yeah, I don't see why not. Again, it's just a money thing, but we're having to. We had this conversation the other day about the cost of bringing those kind of fights to the UK. Basically, with Cal, he's been banking the defences. That was his 5th world title defence. Yeah. He's been banking the money at the same time, which is important. You know, and when he gambles in the next fight, that fight will set him up financially for life. And I'm very proud of that because, you know, that weight class, that's a good achievement. And, you know, he's a good fighter.
Right, Eddie, I can't let you go without asking about some events on Twitter today. So go on my timeline and see Oscar has added you. So what was the exact?
I'll tell you, it was like, let me sort out Canelo's fight. It's nothing to do with
Don't
you.
get involved with
and worry about Joshua Ruiz, which I hear you're having problems with. Something like that.
Is that true?
No, absolutely not. Absolutely not. I don't know whether Oscar was on a bit of a sesh, but I was so close to replying a few things because you know what I'm like. I typed it out a couple of times and I showed some. But the problem is over here is Americans have got a different sense of humour, so you've got to be really careful what you say. Like I said to someone, should I put a wink or a kiss at the end of the tweet? I mean, don't put a kiss at the end of the tweet. I was like, really? I'm doing that for quite a while. To trolls. Not saying Oscar's a troll, but occasionally is. So, yeah, no problem with it. I just went back and said, I bet we make our fight before you make your fight.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, that was my reply. Come on, mate, get with it.
I've been at the show.
It was a bit tame. It was a bit tame. I just said, friendly bet, I bet I'll make my fight before you make your fight. I think, you know, the problem is I get asked the questions about Canelo just because I've got a couple of middleweights. Obviously, I work for DAZN. So where it come from was the Chris Mannix podcast, where he just asked me about the Canelo situation. And I just said, I think Canelo wants to fight Kovalev. DAZN want him to fight Triple G. See what happens. So
it's not you just saying that, the whole of boxing.
Yeah, I know, but obviously he hates it when, like, he's done it before. He's said things when I've commented on his fighters, but I'm getting asked. You know, I've got a good relationship with Oscar and Golden Boy, but like I said, he was obviously.
Maybe he joined David Ingins earlier.
Yeah, maybe. A few tequilas and then thought it earns.
All right, Eddie, good show.
It's good, wasn't it? Yeah, great atmosphere. Really good show tonight. So back we go. Obviously, you got free weekend next week. No July 6th show, which I won't know what to do myself. Then we got Rome the week after. Then we got O2. Big shout out to the O2. Now we've got a Coley on there as well. So
Sam Hyde.
Yeah, we're trying to make that fight. So we got Dillian White against Ruiz-Aj. We've got Chisora Spilker. We've got Dave Allen against David Price. We've got hopefully Lawrence Coley against Sam Hyde. We've got Chris Billam-Smith against Richard Riakporte. I mean, it's a cracking
fight,
card.
that one.
Cracking card. And then we've got Hooker against Ramirez, July 27 in Dallas. Let's go, champ.
How was your show last night in Italy?
Really good. Really starting to get momentum in it. Had a good crowd, new arena. It's the first time we went to a proper arena. So I'm excited. I'm very driven to try and grow boxing in markets that either it doesn't exist or have been dormant for such a long time. I know I get stick from the UK, like, you're deserting the UK, and I'm not, I promise. You're going to see great things from September, but we're trying to be a global business. So if I can go and start expanding in markets that, like I said, are dormant or non-existent, and trying to regenerate boxing over here, that's part of what we're trying to do globally. So don't hate on me for having a vision.
All right. Cheers, Eddie.